You're thicker than a Snicker. You get real sad when you see your own picture. Your belly's getting bigger, but Nate's podcast about to make you a winner. The show's called Baby Fat, and Nate'll fucking tell you that, yeah. The show's called Baby Fat, yeah, 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 yeah.
Welcome back to Baby Fat with Nate Salgado. Fucking creepy look into the lens to kick things off for video podcasting. We're here. I'm an episode early. Sure, I haven't held my end of the bargain of 4 episodes a month. Or did I say 52 in a year? So I can still make up the 2, which will soon be 2 lacking episodes. For you Baby Fat nerds, I'm nervous from the camera. My goodness, you can probably hear the difference. I'm like talking slow. My pattern's a little offbeat. But I know that if I botch this, it's going to be so much more work for me. And I already don't know how to do it. Like, all I did, bought the camera, well documented, or upgraded the phone with the camera that's going to be hopefully usable. Big sniff, well, medium sniff. I'm going to send it over, airdrop it to the Mac Mini that I bought, well documented, and then hopefully use the audio from GarageBand. I'm going to YouTube how to mute the audio from iMovie, because I'm going to use iMovie to send it over, to airdrop it. Stay with me. And then the little clap and little hit right there, big noise. I'm going to get one of those movie things that go, the slap out of breath because I'm nervous, guys. What do you call those things? I could look it up, because now here we are, connected to the Ethernet. You can see the keyboard a little bit in frame. Hopefully you can see the Baby Fat logo on my, what do you call it? It's not a poster. The thing Patty Fatty got me. You guys know what I'm talking about. He stars in all the videos. Hopefully you can see that in frame. Again, it's going to be a work in progress. I'm going to have to get used to it. And as I started this tangent, before I got so nervous, I can't like magic pause, or at least not this episode. Like this one, I have to do a full hour. A lot of crutchety crutches. I even got the OG crutch. We'll bring it into frame. Although this isn't the exact recipe I would usually get. I got this with whipped cream on top instead of just the cream in there. That's why it's a little bit darker brown. I don't know if I like it more. Maybe I'm just a little sensitized, not desensitized. I can feel the espresso. I haven't been having espresso day to day. Caffeine intake still got to be up, because I have like at least a half a pot of coffee in the morning, and then if not, like a Celsius at 3. And so the caffeine shouldn't, but I'm struggling. I think it's you guys making me nervous, but it also could be the OG espresso. So as I was gearing up today, because I knew, big sniff, that today's the day. No, sorry. Yeah, you're seeing me. If you see this, I will have one of those creepy videos before I die. I'm leaving this entire podcast for my kids, so I will probably make some kind of, if you see this, hologram video or whatever we are, technology-wise, wherever we're at. See, damn it, now I can't just go and skip back a little bit to get where I was. If you see this, what the hell was I even talking about? I started envisioning that. If you see this is where hair was, then yes, I didn't record a podcast with Zach once again. And I got nothing as far as explanation goes. It's just the limited time that we get together, I'm just not trying to make content. And he's not begging to get on the cast, like my brothers or Andrew or, people like that were excited to come on, and we scheduled the time to do that. When I'm out there, I mean, that's just part of his personality as well. So sadly, no, there's no Zach cast. It would have got me to 4 episodes this month. And then also in the back of my mind, here's excuses coming in. I was like, but I said I would video podcast because I almost moonlit record last night or yesterday or maybe even the day before. But I was like, no, I fucking backtrack on so much other shit that I say that I literally can't do it this time. The next episode has to be video, and I have to get it down. I have to figure it out on 99. So when the big 100 drops, which I may do it this weekend, we'll see how I feel. If I can get into tomorrow, then I'll keep my 4 episode promise. But you know me, I already have half the day planned away. I had the other half planned away, but can't make those plans. Damn it. Oh, we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, no Zach cast yet. It's coming. Maybe that's the big goal or whatever that we set after 100. Because where do we go from here? It's surreal. The podcast is turning 2 years, and like next week, and we made it to video. We're still doing it. I'm 3 for 5 this week, still programming. Not like even close to where my peak was years ago as far as consistency, but I've kept the embers alive through the 2-year journey, and I've documented behaviors of myself and like to think that I'm improving. I like to think that, I don't know, maybe what do you call it? The data we are pouring through is the sample size is too small. We'll see. But I feel really good right now. Like, life is good. No complaints, YK, like going through 6 season here. It seemed like the first weekend we showed up for basketball practice, I just got subconscious about my gut all of a sudden. I'm like, oh my God, how do I look in the camera? The first weekend of basketball practice, or not even practice, the games where everybody convened together, we all came home with sickness, and that was a month and a half ago, it seems like, and we're still battling that. Poor Rogie Bear is on the tail end of it. He's been down. But why am I even bringing that up? Damn it. You guys get to see in real time my ADD. And I, as I self-diagnose myself with all sorts of things, I finally asked the big question to ChatGPT the other day. I'm like, hey, am I autistic? And first off, it's like, oh, well, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not going to speak on that. And you have to like weasel your way around that. Like, I know you're not, but like if you had to diagnose, I don't even know how I worded it. I have to go through and see my prompts, but I eventually got it to start feeding me some things. And it really kind of was trying to push me into, no, I'm not on the spectrum, or I'm not autistic, or if I am, I'm really high functioning level 1, which would, like, of course, I would know that, or I would assume that, just because I'm able to do all the things that I can do. Like, I'm not trying to take away from people that are really disabled. That's not, I'm just trying to figure out my brain, right? And it was really kept like leading back to ADHD. Sorry, for a second I thought I heard a kid, which would be Tatum, waking up from a nap and coming down the stairs. There's no baby gate. Tatum might make his first appearance. He can't open the garage door on the video podcast, but and it just kept pushing me to be like, no, you're just ADHD, which I see in like Sophia and in myself. I definitely have those characteristics because, and shout out Collie the Goat, I've documented through this podcast how just scatterbrained I can get, or just forget. I'm so fucking forgetful. But it's really the way my brain's working. It's just leapfrogging from one thing to the next constantly. And I notice it during my workday all the time. I always say, and even on this podcast, I'm always like, if I remember something too early, it fucks me. Oh, sorry, YouTube. Right before the 10 minutes. Big F-bomb. Sorry, Grandma. Although Graham Cracker did watch some episodes, and I meant to call you last week. Oh, my God, already. Regrets. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'll give you a call. But she was like, I listened to a couple episodes of the most recent ones or something like that. She's like, you did such a good job not saying the F word. And so that one, sorry, Grandma. Sorry about that one. And speaking of YouTubes, I really wanted to start this with Video Killed the Radio Star. So I might have to change the title currently. Shout out Kippy. It's Video Killed the Podcast Star. But since I can't play that song, I think I do hear Tatum. Since I couldn't play that song because immediately I would get kicked off YouTube. Like the first video, I was about to doom it right away. So dang it. That's one thing about no more DJ Salsa. You know, I am still the Van Gogh of podcasting, the Hispanic Express, the Brown Noise. Look at my eyes. Nate the Great, Nasty Nate, Nader, Naderade, Nestor, Nato, Nafe, Sal, DJ Salsa, the Mexican Watermarks, and the John Gruden of fantasy football, the real Mexican Vanilla, Jason Samoa, the Marijuana, the Half-Blood Prince, the Tequila Sunrise, the Ghost of Guerrero. Guerrero? How dare I? The Ghost of Guerrero. Coach Salsa. Is that all I have? Dang it. I thought I had my box set perfectly. Look at that neck angle. And, just Coach Salsa. That's all that was left. So I can still have my cheater sheet up. I got the notes. We're not there yet. Not to the simulation. Although I thought I might have to lean on them right away just because I can't pause. Like, I could pause, but I'm ultimately too lazy to figure out that aspect of video editing. I just want one big file, and I want to trim out the beginning to where I made the clap, line up the audio files, slap them together, and, this thing ain't going nowhere. Hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, I'm nervous. It's going to be a process like just everything else was. There'll be technical difficulties, but I'm excited about the new chapter. I'm excited to have guests, video podcasting. I got to get Ginser and Nathan Stuffelbein down here. What are we going to call that trio? We'll have to have, just like we had the bros, they'll have to be, because, that's just not going to be the first time. I have to get Ian down here and all sorts of people. Can't wait to do that. And, yeah, I'm just proud. Like 2 years, doing something for 2 years. It's not perfect. I'm not perfect, but we did the damn thing. 102 years, and also, like more than 100, because I'm not counting some of the, like I said, the subliminal the drafts, and I think some of the bros I started separating because honestly, I was creeping towards 100 and wanted to give myself a little bit more breathing room to get this all together. And seemingly that was the right move because, fuck, did it come together. Look at this beautiful orange chair. It's not exactly the same one that I had in my bedroom growing up, but it's pretty fucking close. Like, you have to, like, Auntie Nicole right away was like, oh no, that's close. It's not the same one, but that's close. Like, only she really spotted that right away. Anybody else has been like, damn, that's because it's so close. It looks just like it. But there is textural difference, just the lines. And I didn't have both covers, but I guess mine came with it. But the chair, the Mac Mini going on sale at the right time. What else I do? The phone upgrade needed. I can't think. There's a couple other factors that just really fell into place for me. But the desk, the new setup here, I don't know. I'm just excited about the new chapter of Baby Fat and proud that I've been doing it for 2 years. I almost corrected the wrong way. Said we have done this. Now sure, you haven't been hitting the Fatline, which, do I even know it? 816-459-0686. Really had to think about it though. Did you send an email? babyfatpod@gmail.com? No, you haven't. And then that's my fault because I'm not on here consistently every week begging you to participate. But please hit the Fatline. Send me an email. The show's so much more fun when we have that aspect of things. Uncle Andrew called me yesterday, and I didn't answer it at first because I was really hoping he was calling the Fatline. But he was actually calling about the second half of my Saturday, my day tomorrow. Tomorrow we actually get to make up those games that we lost when it got just terribly cold. I'm going to cover up my face, hopefully my fat chin. And we have one more game. I think I told you guys last episode. I thought it was my last week a couple weeks ago, but fortunately I get one more crack at it with both teams, which is tomorrow. Long story boring. Although, wait. You see that excitement? They fucking beat the blue team. Like, I got to confirm it with the assistant coach, but Alex told me, Sophia told me, like, they beat the blue team. I was standing in their way. They beat the blue team 6-5 last week while I was gone. Sophia had 2 steals. The coach joked about how I should miss every week because of Sophia's effort. Like, I was over the fucking moon. I was in California, and that was like one of the first things that at conversation, like, what's going on? How you doing? I couldn't help it. Anybody that would listen, I was telling them that. That right there. So fucking cool. Like, I'm just over the moon about it. And so I'm excited to hopefully see that continue tomorrow. And I'm just going to try to stay out of the way because they did such a good job. And God, if I can see them beat the blue team on this makeup date, I'll just be so freaking tickled. Dude, like that's fucking awesome. And for Sophie to get 2 steals, and I got home and I was talking to her about it, telling her how proud I was, and she was like, yeah, I like to take the ball. And I was like, I've been telling you to grab it all year. So that finally clicked. So can't wait for Sophia tomorrow. And Vanessa too, little Spitfire. And I feel bad for her because while I was gone, her practice got canceled. Sophia got to go to practice. And so I know she felt missing out last Friday night. And I want to jump right into it. And it's really not even a note. Oh, but the second half of my Saturday, I can't go to the Blues game. We were going to go. Yeah, we were. Uncle Andrew, Aunt Jess, Olivia, and I were going to go to the Blues game, but we wouldn't be able to make it in time. We'd be like an hour and a half late because of the game time. Puck drops at 4. Our last game would get out around 12:30. I'd hit the road at 1 o'clock, best case scenario, and that's putting me there at 5:30, not factoring in traffic and parking and walking in. Like, I would miss most of the game. So we're rescheduling it hopefully for March sometime, and I don't want to dox this completely. But, yeah, that would have been a damn good Saturday. Just can't quite swing it, but hopefully we get to go to a Blues game. We did it a couple years ago, that 4 right there, that group, and we had such a blast. So I hope to replicate that. And, yeah, speaking of the Blues games and just professional games in general, my brain can't help but, and for some reason I'm looking at my notes like it is a note, but I know I didn't make it. I went to the Lakers game. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to go and grab my new, I'm licking my lips too because they're fucking chapped. I wanted to go grab my new fucking lanyard from the Lakers game. So, like, I kept telling everybody went to the Lakers game last Friday after work at a conference in Anaheim, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Los Angeles. And I had, and just the stars aligned that the Lakers were playing the Clippers. And I thought it was an away game, so I thought the floor was going to be like the Clippers floor, but no, it was actually a Lakers home game, which made it even sweeter. And so, and just the rivalry that is LA Lakers versus LA Clippers, they share the same arena. They've been actually handing it to us the last decade. For whatever reason, they've had our number. It used to be they never beat us. We're finally getting back into the rhythm of fucking beating their ass. And so I really wanted to go to this game. I could have gone to a freaking Lakers-Boston game, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I haven't actually looked back to confirm, but according to the highlights I was watching, I think they played Boston on Sunday too, which I flew out really early Monday morning. That would have been tough, but I would have done it just to be able to say that I did it. But I don't know. I don't know if I could have topped this experience because just like WWE, man, I lucked the fuck out again. Now, I didn't do the same guest services jam. I just don't think it would have worked at the Staples Center. They don't have a problem selling tickets, especially Lakers versus Clippers. But I would check Game Time app for a week probably, up to it. And tickets were like $180 when I first saw them for the nosebleeds, and then they worked their way down all the way down to like $139, $140. Then they worked back up to like $150, $160, and then back down to $150. And so I was like planning on that. I was like, man, I hope it drops. If it gets down to $100, I'll be tickled. If it gets down to like $120, I'm going to just fire away and get it, because I haven't seen it drop that low yet, just so I don't have to worry about it. So I'm checking it all the week of, even at the conference both days, and it's that Friday. Still haven't bought a ticket. Conference ends, and I'm driving back to my hotel room. Sorry, wheezing a little bit. Asthma. And I get stuck in fucking California traffic, which is just the worst part of California. The amount of fucking time you have to spend in a car. Like, it's just so spread out that you have to drive everywhere. And then there's so many fucking people that you're always in traffic. It's just the worst. The absolute god dang it worst. Anyways, all right, now this time it was the best. I'm in traffic, check Game Time, and I see 150 at Staples Center, which is now the Crypto Arena, which is a motherfucker. I'll get into that in a minute. The nosebleeds are 300. Middle section is 200. And then you have, sorry, it keeps going to sleep on me. Then you have the floor seats, and the bottom section is 100. The tickets I were talking about was 300, which of course that's what I planned on being. I just wanted to get into the game, so I went again. I honestly, so I can put these damn keys up, kept telling everybody, because I'm a fucking hack, that my lanyard was on its last thread, which it literally is, and I needed to get a new one, so I have to go. And I did get a new one. Barely. Big sniff. So I'm in traffic, and I see 150, and it's in section 2. And everything in section 2 was fucking 5, 700, 1,300, like just expensive as fuck. The floor seats were $13,000 that night. And it's like section 2, $150. That's got to be a mistake. Big sniff. Sorry, I need a drink. I actually need to wax my nose hair. It's been tickling me. Like, section 2, 150. No fucking way. No way. So I'm in traffic at like a stopping point, though, and stop and going point. I'm like, 150, section 2. Didn't even really look at the details. I'm just trying to click through, fucking process my payment. And which was probably 30 seconds, felt like 3 minutes processed. And I look at my seats, and I can't believe, like, the view. Like, and still can't, even after experiencing it. So I show up there, and sure enough, fucking right under the basket, just, in the corner of the floor, off kilter to stage right is what it looked like to me. Sorry, God. My nose itched. Gross, right? First episode. And I could just see perfectly. I mean, I have some videos, and I plan on cutting and chopping it up to promo this episode. But like, I saw Luka just splashing threes and jawing at the fucking bench, I mean, although like Laker Nation and the rest of NBA fanship has really hated watching him complain after every play that he's been fouled, it's so fucking awesome and hilarious to watch as a Laker fan. Luka fucking splash a deep three in front of the opposing bench, and he just fucking jaws at him in Serbian. And I got to see it. I didn't get a video of it. I might have only got one good or like positive Luka play recorded. Frog, did you hear it? But I did at 2, I think, I want to put a 3 on it, but 2 times for sure saw the classic Luka splash a three and just fucking bulldog the bench. Sorry, my nose fucking itches. Told you the hair's tickling me. So that was amazing. AR 15. Everybody saw the highlight where he goes completely behind the back, decides not to pass to LeBron, switches it back around for the layup. Beautiful. I had a beautiful view at that. So many alley-oops. LeBron and Luka putting it up alley-oop wise. Got a big bug flying around the go range. But it was just a magical night, and they won. And I got some streamers somewhere. Where the hell did I put those? That came down. I have some purple and yellow streamers from Crypto Arena that I will display. Crypto Arena. So I'm trying to get a new lanyard. I was trying to buy a pack of cards to rip a pack in my seat, which, let me pause there. The seat. So for the entire first half, I just sat in the aisle because as I got to my row, there was 2 seats open on the aisle, and I was seat 15, which was in the smack dab middle of the row. So I didn't want to make everybody get up. So I was like, I'm just going to sit here. And there's this one Asian dude. He's like, oh, yeah, those seats are empty anyway. I don't know how he knew that or knew they were going to be empty, but it ended up they weren't empty at halftime or right before halftime. The owners of the seats came up, so I just slid over to my seat. And I was like, okay, cool. Which was a better viewing experience, but a worse fan experience. I was really feeling it on the edge, and I had room to hoop and holler more than like what I was just next to 2 bigger guys, and it just like on my fucking flights out there, just felt more limited. But by the end of it, I was more comfortable and got into it. It just wasn't as good a fan experience, but at the corner, there was this little plexiglass window that I was like viewing from, and it was kind of cutting off my imagery. So when I moved over to my actual seat, I had the perfect view of the floor, and I was close. I have some, and this camera, zoom really well, and I got like full on face videos of LeBron and Luka, and it just has a good zoom on it because of my vantage point. Way better seats than I had the first time that I was there at Crypto Arena. So at halftime, I go and I'm like, I got to get a new lanyard. That's why we're here. And then I saw, they're selling card packs. Oh, let me scoop one of those. I want to rip a card pack. I'll film it from my seat. I see people do that. And oh, look at this fucking sick Laker hat. Camo. Corduroy brim. And it had a pin, a Laker pin that came with it. Gratis. I go to check out. I have money in my account. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't have been there. You don't go to downtown LA without a little bit of a cushion. And I'm trying to check out. My fucking debit card won't work. And usually they'll send you like a text saying like, hey, are you trying to make this purchase because I'm out of state? They think it's fraudulent. And at first the girl's like, oh yeah, it's because it's crypto. They it's because it's crypto. And I'm like, what? She didn't really explain it at first. So I keep trying again because I'm like, I want this. I got to get the lanyard. And I had my credit card maxed out from just traveling and being a poor motherfucker, and didn't have enough to cover my almost $100 bill. Just way she was. And I knew I had enough for the lanyard though. And she kept going, yeah, it's Crypto Arena, and sometimes that messes with it because they think it's crypto. And then it clicked for me. I'm like, oh yeah, they think it's a fraudulent crypto purchase because I'm at Crypto Arena. I got you now. That's why I won't go through. And I was like, they usually text me. She's like, yeah, there's so many people in the building with all their cell phones, you're not going to get a text. You'll get it as soon as you walk outside, which I never did, but fuck. So I knew I was just fucked. So I put the card and the hat back. Yeah, I mean, almost $100 just for those 3 things. But I had to get the lanyard. So I got the lanyard. I meant to grab it. It's upstairs in my closet because I do want to use this one still. I'm still attached to it. We'll get into that someday, I guess. But mainly because they don't make them like they used to. They have the fucking cat collar breakaway shit on all the lanyards because I bought a Chiefs one not that long ago because I saw this one was on its last thread and I didn't know I was going to make it to Staples Crypto Arena anytime soon. That was an on purpose accident misnaming because I hate that name. I already hated the name. And so I bought a Chiefs one from the gas station up the road the other day, but it had the fucking breakaway thing, and I'm like, I don't want to use that yet. I'll let this one blow out completely. And now the only ones they have to pick from now, or at least from Crypto Arena, are the breakaways. So that's part of my hesitation too. And yeah, just attached to that one, I guess. I forget the whole, you guys see it. If I start bullshitting too much on here, it'll just be right on my face, my eyes. Tell the whole story. We are past the simulation. Made it halfway through the first video podcast. And I tried to get on here a little bit earlier. Technical difficulties, trying to do some other things, finish up work. But I timed it to where you might hear my kids come in off the bus right at the tail end of it. Because there was just something that Nathan Stufflebean said to me when we connected for his podcast that he liked the, I don't know what you'd call it, unproduced, the rawness aspect of this podcast. And I do too. It's genuine. And so I hope for that to be a part of the first video podcast. But we did make it past the simulation. Can I lean up here? Chin. And hit some notes. Hit the extracurricular while you're at it. Our crutchety crutches. This is our first video podcast. Before movie night can start, I got to figure out how to edit and upload and render and whatever the fuck. But we're learning things. That's good. So yesterday, I got my car detailed, and it feels so good. For the amount that I pay for that stupid fucking car that I loathe now, so I basically have to have my second job just so that thing doesn't cave me in. Pause. Having it look almost brand new, except for the fucking dings on the outside from Walmart parking lot, and the fucking hail 2 weeks after I bought it, which I probably could have got it totaled out and buy. I've already been here. I've already complained about how stupid I am fiscally. Anyways, all right now, I got it detailed, and Mexican Jew, I've been looking at getting it detailed for months. And I finally got real serious about it the past few weeks. I even was scheduled to get it detailed by a different company Tuesday. Ended up getting it done Thursday. Because as I'm traveling home, or even while I was traveling for work last week, I get a message from the guy that's supposed to detail it, who I had been Facebook messaging with. Then I gave him my phone number at a certain point. He's like, hey, one of my technicians texted you to confirm the appointment and that you have power and water up front. All things that I'd already spoken to him about and confirmed with him. And I got a weird number on my phone and I likely ignored it. And he said, kindly respond. And I was like, okay, kindly check and respond. So I can do that. And I was like, I don't know, for some reason, fucking got my antennas up. And I responded back, told him, yes, I have water and power. Yes, confirm the appointment. Then a few days later, I'm traveling home and I'm in the airport, getting off one plane, making my connecting flight. And I get another message saying, have you confirmed with my technician? Something like that. I was like, yeah, well, now I feel like I work for you. I'm paying you for your fucking service. And I was like, I answered him, and then I had to be like, I couldn't help myself. I was like, do you communicate with your technician? Because I sent him a message. Did you fucking send him a message? And he's typing back. He's like, oh, I'll message him now. After like a minute and a couple, you see the three dots and then they stop. You see the three dots and then they stop. So I'm fucking getting fired up. Can feel the sweat on the back of my neck in an airport fucking lobby, whatever you call it, waiting on my plane. And then before he even answers, I'm just like, yeah, nah. That's what I said. I was like, nah. Actually, I can't give you my money now. I don't like the way you do business. Have a nice day. And fucking blocked him. Which is a new move. My block list has got to be pretty small, pretty minuscule. But it was a way for me to just know that he'll disappear into the ether forever. And I said the same thing to the technician. I was like, I don't like the way your boss does business. Have a nice day. I was like, actually, matter of fact, don't confirm my appointment. Cancel my appointment. I don't like the way your boss does business. Sorry you have to work for him. Have a nice day. And block that number too. Never heard anything out of them. They probably give a fuck. Whatever. But for real, I can't give you money now. Can't make me feel like that or talk to me, especially when and maybe I was just being a little prickly pear because I was traveling. It's a fucking job and a half itself, getting through the airport and back home. But I'm not going to give you my fucking money. And so, yeah, I was back to the drawing board. Dirty fucking car that I door dashed in for a couple years. And bringing Missouri elements in and out of the driver's side floorboard. Like there was a point where my snowy boots from getting out in the winter in and out filled up the car with so much water that I would get back the next morning to back at it and it would be frozen. Like a little skating rink down at my feet. And then that eventually melted and mildewed in my fucking driver's side. And so I dealt with the smell and battled that for a few months back when I was dashing, but it just looked bad. And then it got to a point where it was like, this is so bad. I don't let my kids eat in the car or anything, but just from dust and dirt and in and out, it got to a point where it was like, I don't want to do this. I know how long it's going to take me to fucking do this properly. And I can't trust Olivia to do it right. And I don't want to, it's like I am past the Rubicon. I have to get it detailed. And so I found another company and it just got, my algorithm blessed me, sent it my way for the greater Kansas City area. And let me state, detailing, it started at $300. Like that's what I was looking at to get this service. And I was prepared to pay that. And worth that, really. I feel so good driving my car right now. It just feels good again. Feels fucking brand new. And the amount that I fucking pay for it every month, that right there was worth the detail. Best frivolous money I might have ever spent as the Mexican Jew. Anyways, all right now. So I see this ad for the greater Kansas City area. $149. Detail, exterior, interior. It's like, too good to be true, whatever. Let me see. So I message, and of course at first, but of course. No, actually that's for Kansas City. Can you rate from 1 to 10 how dirty your car is? Like that's all the standard questions that they give you. And I had already hit him with, I need my car detailed. I have power and water at my front door because I knew he was going to ask me that. The other question that the other ones would always ask me is, can you rate your car how dirty it is from 1 to 10? And that right there, I was just it triggered me. I had trauma from the other fucking experience. So I was like, to be honest, bro, I only messaged you because I saw the ad for $149. So if it's going to be more than that, no worries. I'll go on down the road. Thank you. Gave me the old hands, which is thanks, which I never got. This is more like please to me. But I guess you give thanks. And so I gave him thanks. And he goes, oh, we'll do it for $149. Like almost immediately. I was like, oh, tremendous. Okay, already kind of off on a rocky start, but I think I said excellent. And And he's like, so can you do 8 a.m. tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, I can, which will be Thursday. And he was like, oh, no, actually, how about 2? I was like, no, can't do 2. I have plans at 3. And he's like, oh, okay, then back to 8. Because it's like, it's going to take more than an hour. So I was thinking, yeah, it'll probably take at least an hour, probably a good 2. And when I tell you at 7:59 the next morning, this young Mexican kid knocks on my door with his Nissan Altima backed up to mine, trunk popped, his equipment unloaded out, ready to go. And it's probably like 35 degrees. And I'm sitting in my garage office or getting ready to go sit in it in front of a heater. He's ready to go. So I'm like, hell yeah. And he didn't stop working because I'm in the garage. I could hear right through this garage door right here. And I almost got impatient. Like he was taking too long. But I'm like, you little fucking baby fat ass. Like he's putting this work into your car. You fucking dickhead. But I was like, it's good. There's going to be a by the way. When I tell you, is that a new thing? 12:15, he didn't stop scrubbing. He was loaded up, done at 12:15. Over 4 hours he spent detailing my car. And I'm like, hell yeah. What do I owe you? You know, just to see. And he could barely speak English. We actually even used a little Google Translate on a few things on the end of the transaction. He started to ask his boss, like, oh, he's asking like how much it is. So what do I charge him? Because this is how long it took me. This is what I did. And I can understand a lot more Spanish than what I could speak. And I heard him saying this. And I'm like, okay, let me bring up this Facebook message real quick. I was like, it's supposed to be this, but I want to know how much I can tip you, or how do I tip you? And then so that he stopped talking to his boss, and his boss actually came back and said, you know, it was $155, $5 in tax is how his boss had said it. And I was like, not the correct amount if that was tax, but $155, fucking perfect. And so, long story boring, after a little bit more back and forth in Google Translate, I was like, so if I give you 200, Venmo you 200, you'll get $45 for a tip. I mean, he just lit up. He was, you know, very satisfied with that. And long story boring, for $200 fucking dollars, tip included, 4 hours worth of service, $50 an hour. My car is brand new looking, and it just feels so much better. So if you've ever been on the fence about treating yourself, treat yourself to a fucking car detailing. I'm telling you. Oh, all that to say. So yeah, 2 very stark experiences. So fuck ice, and yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Anyway, Auntie Nicole, speaking of, I should get the goddamn garbage card switcher somewhere. Probably close. No, they're probably over there because I have all the shit that I haven't put away. Sorry, I got to readjust. Or is it right behind me and I'm lying? All the shit that I haven't put away yet or found at home or reorganized is right there. So the Go Rage is still a mess. And then I have the new basketball goal over here that we're going to put up hopefully in a few weeks, maybe a month, depending on how the fucking Father Winter goes. But, yeah, what was I saying? Are Garbage, Auntie Nicole. She sent me some kind of meme. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. The millennial version of Let's Start a Band. God, I'm going to botch now. I can't even look at my phone. The millennial version of Let's Start a Podcast was Let's Start a Van, or something like that. You know what I'm trying to say. Which reminded me of my I'm just such a hack. Everything. Even video killed the radio star. Video killed the podcast. I'm just a fucking hack, right? Pin 15. Not my original idea. But if you write it down, somebody told me one time, write pin 15 on your hand. Might have even been a girl. I don't know. And I did, and it looks like penis. And so I never forgot that. It was maybe within a year or two, I had started a band, and that was my original name, Pin 15. And by starting a band, I mean just saying that we had a band called Pin 15. Never held one practice, can't even play an instrument, even though you might even, in video, yeah. But it was just such I am and was such an attention-seeking person. And so when I made this note, what popped in my head was that I was always trying to be heard. And even now, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Do you see me? I love those Kansas City videos. You guys know what I'm talking about? This black guy who always talks about all the either dangerous spots or good spots of Kansas City. And he always ends it with, do you hear me? Yeah, he's so good. I think my friend Pinkerton turned me on to those, or maybe we just both mutually like it. Anyways, shout out, congrats Pinkerton, going to be a daddy before you know it. Shout out Aaron and your little baby. Did I hear Kelsey? She shouldn't be outside. I heard a dog bark. Shout out Aaron and little Aaron. That's not the name, but you know what I mean. Everybody just growing up, having kids. I'm just getting fucking old, man. At the end of the day, I'm just getting fucking old. I'm going to have a driver. I was thinking about this when I was in California the other day. I've known my Aunt Amy's husband for 20 fucking years. That's such a trip. Like, how has it been 20 years? I don't know. But I had a wonderful visit back on my old stomping grounds. It will always be home. As soon as I landed, just staring at the San Gabriel Mountains, and then they were snow-capped because it was the thick of their winter, which was 60 degrees, which made it cold out there. I didn't even see the beach because it was too cold to do anything, or I'd wanted to try to go there, but I actually didn't even see the ocean while I was there. But the mountains were calling me. They looked so fucking gorgeous that I told Zach we got to get up there. And our version is usually taking a bunch of guns and going up there on old Jeep roads that are maintained by this hang gliding society in San Bernardino. But this time, since it was this time of year, we headed up to Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead, where we had gone previously. And Lake Arrowhead is gorgeous. I've actually never been all the way to Big Bear. I got close this time. We actually went to Arrow Bear, which is like the in-between point, or something like that, which was really cool, which is the same experience. You could see the ski slopes and the toboggan slope, just purely sledding slopes, hard for me to say. And we pulled off to the side eventually and climbed up anywhere on the side of the mountain that you could sled down. There was families of Mexicans doing it for free. And it was full send, even straight up on the rocks, homie. And so we eventually did that too. We got out and found a nice little smoking spot and hiked up the side of this little mountain, played with the snow. The snow packed so good, you could make baseball snowballs. And the heat from your hands would melt the outside and like almost ice that. It was just the perfect packing snow right there. And they all had their snow gear on, like not Zach and his girlfriend, but like everybody that we could see had their winter gear on. And we did to some degree too. I borrowed a coat from Zach, but I had my Vans on and just regular pants. But really, it wasn't like Missouri cold. I felt like I could have been out there in a t-shirt if I was out moving around. A sweater and a stocking cap would have been sufficient compared to like the bone-chilling cold that you feel out here. And I'm not just talking about the temperature. It's like something about the humidity in the air. I don't know what it is. It just didn't feel like that cold. But we drove 2 or 3 hours just to get up there to do that for 15 minutes and then turn right back around. It's traffic on the way up, traffic on the way down, because I'm such a hack and such a mark that those mountains were calling me the same weekend it was calling all of Southern California, because it's only like that for 2 weeks out of the year, or just a small window, YK. So, of course, the mountain roads are fucking packed, and it's 2-lane. On the way up there was this one Asian dude just losing his shit in front of his car, and he had this incredible line backed up all the way up the mountain for miles that luckily we felt a little bit as we made our turnaround, but it cleared up by the time we hit the bottom of the mountain. And then we're finishing up our night, and first off, I get there, I land there, I'll get off the plane, go to the car rental facility, and go to pick up my rental car, and they're like, all we have is this electric Kia. Is that fine? I'm like, no, that's not fine. That's like literally the last thing I want. A fucking Kia, for one. Blew up my mom's Kia. My Kia blew up on me. Just don't like them. And electric, like, that sounds fun, but I don't want to worry about having to charge it and like the hassle of that. I'm familiar with that. So no, just give me a gas car. He's like, well, the thing is, you got the cheapest reservation, and it said midsize SUV or other. This is other. So right there, I knew I was fucked, and it would come back to haunt me. I could see it in that motherfucker's face that it was going to fuck me. And sure enough, we're coming back down the mountain. Here we come. And maybe we're going to dinner or coming back from the Charger or something. It was getting late, though. After we'd gone all the way up and down the mountain, the car goes into turtle mode. Reserved power. So much so that Zach had the pedal to the floor. And the fucking thing was fun to drive. I mean, the torque would just throw your head back. I mean, you would almost get the back wheels bouncing off. I mean, it was fun to drive. It's fast. And that's really handy when you're driving in California. Unless you're in turtle mode. And you have the pedal to the metal, and it's going 5 miles an hour in 6-lane highway. So we get off at the first exit, barely roll around to a gas station, and we park it. We go in and use the bathroom and start looking up what the fuck. Apparently, turtle mode is the turtle of death. Like, it means the battery's fucked. But, and as we told Zach's dad, Uncle Augie, the next day, we suspected it just needed a break. Because I had seen, as I fired it up each time, it would be like last break, 22 minutes. Last break, 4 hours or whatever. So it was keeping track of the breaks. So I was like, maybe it just needs a fucking break. And Uncle Augie was like, it's something's overheating, or there's some kind of something going on that kept shutting us down. Because it got to, within the last few days, couple days of my trip, if I drove it more than 20 minutes on the highway, it started to go into turtle mode. And he eventually went into critical failure mode. Yeah, but I would give it a break or get to a charger, fully charge it back up, which fucking first time I went to go charge it, finally found it. Actually found a couple chargers. They were the wrong kind. Yeah, you heard it. There's different kinds of electric chargers, different adapters, different nozzles. Like, they got just like a cell phone that has 10 different fucking adapting charging heads that we've experienced over the years. They've already done that with electric cars. So I finally find the correct one. Well, I actually don't even really, I'm guessing it's the correct one. I end up figuring out that this one specific company always had the nozzle I was looking for. But I didn't quite know that at the time. I was just hoping, because the previous one had this one, so I was like, I hope these ones are the same ones. Find a set of machines, but it's Southern California, so there's a line of like 6 people waiting to charge. And this ain't like gas, where it's going to be done in 3 minutes, next tank. No, it's a 45-minute to an hour full charge. So I'm in line. I'm like, I have no idea how long this is going to take. And the first time I needed to charge at Sharp Go for us was Friday before the Laker game. I was going to try to go see my Aunt Amy after the conference ended because I was right in her neighborhood, really. But I'm glad I didn't make any plans, and we actually ended up getting to hang out Saturday. We had dinner, and then Sunday morning we went on a hike, and we got to spend most of Sunday together too, so that was nice. Anyways, all right now. I would have been late to the Laker game because I literally walked in as they're announcing away team. It was so crazy. I saw Brook Lopez, who played for the away team. He's on the Clippers now. His rookie year, he was with the New Jersey Nets. And he fucking killed us. But we won. We won that game too, where I got to see Kobe reverse jam and all my memories from that first game. But I always remember Brook Lopez tearing it up. And I went to another Brook Lopez on the opposing team, and he's an old dog now. Like this last year, maybe one or two more. And he had a fucking great first opening of the game. I was like, oh, no, he's about to do it again. But we dominated most of the game. But that was a cool full circle moment. Anyway, I barely make it for tip-off because of this charging fiasco. And so I'm in line. I'm like, do I just wait here? This is what I have to do? So I end up, and the next charger is 20 minutes away. It's probably only like a few miles, but that's 20 minutes in traffic. So I sit in line for like 20 minutes before I'm like, not one car has moved to where I'm like, fuck it. I got to go find another one. And long story boring, I do find one. I go to one 20 minutes down the road. I get there and the fucking thing is chopped off. And so then I go to the next one. It's only 15 miles away, but I get there and there's empty bays and I start hooking up. I get charged up. I get to the Laker game just on time. And I end up going back to this one a few times. I use like 2 different charging places that got me through. So I had that part of it down. But that was before it started fucking dying on the side of the highway. I mean, I didn't end up on the side of the highway. I thought it was going to strand me because it kept going to turtle low power mode after every 20 minutes. And Zach was about 30 minutes away from me. So I get about 10 minutes away and I give it a break and then finish my trip. But I was like, this motherfucker is going to end up stranding me. And so I'm on the last night of my trip and I end up going back to my hotel room, and that's when I hit critical failure. And I'm like, do I take this motherfucker back to the airport? Because I was like a mile away from the airport. Try to call the airport and budget, never fucking rent from budget because of this. Both numbers don't work. One rings and rings and rings until it sounds like somebody picks it up and hangs up. One is no longer in service. And so I was going to, again, I'm cutting it close. I have to be over here for dinner at a certain time. It's like, I wanted to go back to the hotel room to take a nap. But then I had hit critical failure, and I was like, I got to figure out this car thing. And I keep going back and forth. Do I just take it back to the car rental counter and exchange it? Because they would have, but that would have taken a certain amount of time. You know your boy, always risking it to get the bisque in it. And I'm not a saying. And so I was just like, fuck it. I can be lazy about this. It probably just needs a break. Sure, it says critical failure. Sure. Probably just needs a little break. And so I do. I just give it a break, and which gives me an extra 20 minutes to do whatever. And long story boring. It does get me from A to B. The rest of the trip doesn't leave me stranded at all. I kind of just learned how to baby it for the next 12 hours or 18 hours at whatever point I was using it. And when I dropped it off, I was like, this was the worst experience I've ever had with a rental car. Kept going to low power mode. This is a bad battery. And when I tell you, they did not give one single fuck. That's what I'm telling you. They didn't give one single fuck. Their question was, because I was like, then I tried to call 2 numbers and couldn't get a hold of anyone. So, and then she was just like, what number did you try to call? I said, I don't have time to find what number. I was like, yeah, have a good day. And I can hear the kids. They're off the bus. You can't hear it, but you can hear the Billy tie. We got it. We landed this bird Tim Butterly style. Not really. I forgot to mention it, but you hear it. Come back.